points out that while the mitzvah of Chanukah, Adlakas Neros, seems to be commemorating the miracle of the oil burning for 8 days. He points out that in terms of Jewish destiny, that really didn't do anything. As opposed to, the victory over Hellenism. I mean, that's something permanent. That changed destiny. And as the Rambam points out, we had self-rule for another 200 years. Why does that miracle play any role in Chanukah? It was nice. But in terms of Jewish destiny, that which we have to remember year after year, why the miracle of the oil burning for 8 days? Says the Maharal, what was its purpose then? He says very simply, whenever we're talking about a military victory, regardless of how unexplainable it is, man will always come up with an explanation. All right, they didn't really have arms. There were few of them. But I guess it was guerrilla warfare, and what superpower has ever won out over guerrilla warfare anyway? So Hashem came and performed this miracle of the oil burning for 8 days, where there was no natural explanation for it, as his way of saying, just in case you missed it, that victory in battle was a miracle. Without we go further, the presumenisa, the public proclamation that there was a miracle, that's done with the kindling of the lights. When it comes to thanking Hashem, which is also a mitzvah of the day, the Hallel V'Hodaya, in our Anisim, all we talk about is the miracle of Giborim B'yad Chaloshim, the mighty in the hands of the weak, Rabbim B'yad Miatim, the many in the hands of the few. We don't mention the miracle of the lights at all. Only that, when they came back into the Beis HaMikdash, Hidliku Neiros B'chatzros Kodshecha. They lit lights. No mention of the miracle at all. Because in thanking Hashem for the miracle, then we don't have to worry about what the others say. We know the truth. That wasn't strategy. It wasn't because it was guerrilla warfare. It was miracle. And that definitely changed the course of Jewish history. For that we thank Hashem. And compared to that, the miracle of the oil is trivial. We don't even bother mentioning it. So although it's the Festival of Lights, it's really something else. Nevertheless, if Hashem did choose to perform a miracle to show us that everything was miraculous, it was no coincidence that he chose the menorah. The menorah is the conduit. The Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Holy of Holies, that's where the Shefa comes, the bounty comes from heaven. And there are different conduits. The menorah is the conduit of wisdom. Wisdom coming down from heaven to the Kodesh HaKadoshim through the menorah then comes through the Jewish nation and to all of humanity. Jewish wisdom. It was the victory of Jewish wisdom. Remember, what was this a battle over? This wasn't really a battle over silver. It was a byproduct. But that wasn't what they were fighting for. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This was a battle for Jewish values. Hellenism swept the country. This was the first intellectual challenge to Judaism. Up until that point, the challenge to Judaism was paganism. The world was pagan. The Anshe Knesset Agdolah, the Great Assembly, they saw at the beginning of the Second Temple era that there was still a problem of idolatry in the Jewish nation. They decided enough is enough. This drive the human being had to bow down to some image was just too powerful. They decided they have to get rid of it. And today, we think of this need. When we look back, there was a Beis HaMikdash, there were open miracles. Bayis Rishon, the first Beis HaMikdash, there was Urim V'Tumim, when there was a question of what to do for the nation. They would ask the coin and the letters would light up and they get an answer from Hashem. There was prophecy. If an animal of yours went astray, you couldn't find it, you went to your local prophet. The Rambam uses that example. The Vilna Gaon says something else. If you wanted to know your unique mission in life and why Hashem created you and put you in the world, you'd go to a prophet, you'd go to a Navi, and he would tell you. And in that era, idolatry was rampant. There was this insane drive to bow down to sticks and stones. There was a need to worship something tangible, even if it was meaningless. The Anshe Knesset Agdola, they fasted, they davened, and a fiery lion came out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. And that was the Yetzer of Avodah Zarah. Unbelievable what these people were like. The Anshe Knesset Agdola, it's hard to use the word people. They got rid of the Yetzer for Avodah Zarah. Tell me, when's the last time you had this urge to bow down to an idol? They changed the face of humanity. Unfortunately, it did not come without an expense. We lost prophecy. Because it had to be a fair choice. There will be no free will if there's no urge for idolatry. And only the ability to come close to Hashem through prophecy. There will be no choice. So we lost that too. But still, we had Torah. Something else was created in its place, in the place of idolatry. The new Yetzirah was kafira, denial of a creator. Instead of idolatry, which was bowing down to a false god, the Greeks introduced the idea of bowing down to no God. Now, 1 second. Greece was filled with mythology. They had more gods than any other civilization that we know of. Yeah, but that was culture. And that's the whole secret of Greece. Culture. Nothing's real. Man is in this world for the ride. Enjoy what works. If when you feel insecure, you want to create a mythological God, good for you, as long as you don't believe it's true. Do what you want. Democracy. Because it's all about man. Where the world come from, it was always here. But it's finite. Where was its beginning? I guess it was semi-finite. I'm oversimplifying it, but that's basically what they say. And there's philosophy, human wisdom. And denying the Creator. This was the first challenge. And it seems like we weren't prepared for it. And so much of the nation fell to Hellenism. And then the Greeks, who accepted every other culture. They had no problem with foreign cultures. They had a problem with the Jews because we knew it was for real. We preached truth. We said there was absolute truth. We said there was a creator. And we said that it's not just human logic. There's something called Kedusha. The human being could arise above his physical state. And that they wouldn't accept. You can believe in whatever you want to. You can practice any way you want to. But you can't be an observant Jew. Because then you believe in absolute truth. Sound familiar? That was the forerunner of contemporary liberalism. There is no absolute truth. You can believe in anything. You can do anything. You have no need to defend what you believe in. As long as you don't believe in absolute truth. So that swept the nation. And for the diehards who still believed in absolute truth, the Greeks hired the Syrian mercenaries Get rid of that. They vandalized the Beis HaMikdash. Defiled it. Around to conquer the country. And what happened? Most gave up. Even the leadership gave up. The Kohanim didn't. They decided to fight. How were they going to win over the Syrian mercenaries with their elephants? Did it make sense? This was suicide. They were not expecting miracles. They were ready to give their lives. They had to stand up. They had to stand up for Jewish wisdom. They had to stand up for the divine. Torah is beyond human intellect. They had to stand up for absolute truth. They had to stand up for Kedusha. And if it meant giving your life for it, they were ready. So yes, it was a victory in battle. A miraculous victory in battle. And what showed that it was a miracle for those that missed it? The menorah, the conduit for wisdom. That's where the victory was. It was divine wisdom over Greece. Okay, the lesson's clear. You know what the lesson is? Chanukah. The miracles of Chanukah. They provide for us forever. The ability of the Jew by way of Mesiras Nefesh to do the impossible. What kavanah are you supposed to have at Hadlakas Neiros? What are you supposed to be thinking of it? Two things, and they're inseparable. The Mesiras Nefesh of the Hashmonaim and the miracles that Hashem performed. You identify with the Hashmonaim. You're ready to stand up for Jewish values, come what may. No sacrifice is too big. If that's what you're up to, you're infallible. There are no limitations. You can do the impossible. Come on, this is Aish. This is what we stand for. This is what we want every one of you to understand. We have to be ready to give everything up for the sake of bringing Jewish values back to every Jew. Oh, come on. We're a small minority. How are we going to get the millions? We need miracles. In Solchan Alais, you can't rely on a miracle. Oh, yes, you can. That's the message of Chanukah. That is the power that Chanukah gives us. If you're ready to be Moshe Nefesh, if you're ready to sacrifice everything, you can do the impossible. That's Chanukah, that's Aish. This is what we've instilled in our students over the generations. I say generations. Aish is around for over 50 years now. Our students have moved out to everywhere, made sacrifices. And miracles have happened. No, not yet the millions. There must be hundreds of thousands out there. Jews that when exposed to authentic Jewish values were ready to take the plunge. Give up whatever it was they had to give up for what's true. And knowing human nature, that's miraculous. It takes a miracle. It takes a miracle. This is so not what the human being is like. The Yeshiva is a miracle. You're all miracles. If we're for real, many, many more miracles will happen. And we'll turn around the Jewish nation. Make sure that luck is near us. That's what's on your mind. Make sure that luck is near us. You're ready to make any sacrifice. Whatever you do with your lives, what's going to be the very top of the agenda is seeing to it that every Jew understands what it means to be a Jew. Seeing to it that you affect anyone you can. Like the Maccabees. The odds are against us. That's the message of Chanukah. Odds mean nothing. If you're for real, you're infallible. That's Chanukah. Hallel, we say Hallel to Hashem for the miracles. It's not just for the miracles. We thank Hashem for being part of the Jewish nation. We thank Hashem for everything He gave us, everything He taught us, and for the privilege and opportunity to be part of the effort to bring His name back to all the Jews. Feel fortunate and be thankful. Feel fortunate and be thankful that you're going to be part of this effort. Be fortunate and thankful. that we know truth. That even though liberalism feels so warm, Torah is true and so much warmer. Not unlike the Greeks, we believe in the greatness of the human being. But it's not in the Colosseums. It's not in the human being's ability to build his muscles and kill others. That's not the greatness of humanity that we celebrate. The greatness of the human being is the ability to understand the deepest concepts and to be greater than our instincts. Yes, self-control. That's the greatness of the human being. Who is the mighty one? The one that can defeat a lion in the Colosseum. The one that can defeat another human being in the Colosseum. Who is the Gibor? What are the muscles we respect? Hakovesh Yitzro, self-control. That we make rational decisions, although our instincts are pulling us in other directions. That's being mighty. It was Giborim B'yad Chaloshim. The miracle was the mighty in the hands of the weak. That's from their perspective. It was the weak in the hands of the mighty. The weak, those who surrendered to their instincts, in the hands of the real mighty, the Yisrael Gibor. Giborim, who are ready to be Moser Nefesh, to give up everything for what we know is right. Yes, Chanukah is about the real Gevurah, the real strength. So, this Chanukah, when you light, it's not just a matter of remembering what happened. It's joining what happened. It's being part of that army of Mi Lashem Elai. And knowing that we're infallible, miracles will happen.